Three cameras TikTok keeps convincing you to buy, except they are not for the same person. Between the G7X, the Ricoh GR3, and the Fujifilm X100VI, which one is actually the best one for you? I own all three plus a few other cameras, so I'm breaking this comparison down into 3 parts to help you decide which camera is the best for you. Starting with the oldest, cheapest, and most user-friendly camera, this is the G7X Mark I. I have the original version. It's over 10 years old. Obviously, the current viral ones are Mark II and III, but this still works, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Despite its age, it still gives you a 20.2 1-inch megapixel sensor, a 24 to 100 millimeter equivalent zoom lens with a bright 1.8 to 2.8 aperture, a total weight of only 304 grams. So in normal people terms, the 24 millimeter equivalent wide lens gives you room for arm's length selfies and group photos. The zoom does allow you to get closer portraits without having to physically move closer. While this was originally purchased back in the day for vlogging purposes, since this makes a great vlogging camera, the real reason you might want it today is for the classic G7X flash look. The photos are saturated without being overly orange or warm. The built-in flash is also very extremely intuitive. You turn it on, turn on the flash, and then just click. For the most part, this camera can run on autopilot. You don't really need to know aperture, shutter speed, or ISO to get a good photo straight out of the camera. It also does perform surprisingly well when there's little to no natural light. As you can see, this camera has never been babied. It has been used without a case, traveled to countless countries, accumulated plenty of dents and scratches, and taken thousands of beautiful photos, but still works without any major issues. I actually just dropped it just now. The photos are saturated.
Oh shit, I dropped my camera.
The biggest limitation though is while video. The original G7X that I have records full HD with up to 60 FPS, it does not have the modern 4K capabilities that other cameras do have, despite originally being for the purpose of vlogging. There are much better options you can get nowadays. So what's the verdict? If you are a beginner, love flash selfies, and want a camera you can hand to your untrained partner or anyone at a party, the G7X is probably the best option for you. It's the camera you bring with you when you want good photos without having to think. Part 2 of my 3-part series is the GR3, the one that you almost forget is inside your pocket. At only 257 grams, it is the smallest and most lightweight out of the 3. Yet it still fits a large 24.2 megapixel APS-C crop sensor inside its tiny body, along with a 28 millimeter equivalent f2.8 lens. The crop sensor is physically larger than the one inside of the G7X, which gives you excellent detail and image quality inside a super tiny camera. However, since the lens is fixed, you do not get optical zoom. So if you want your subject to look closer or further away, you physically have to move either closer or further away to your subject, or crop your image afterwards. This camera is amazing for travel and street photography because you can just pull it out of your bag, turn it on, and snap, and capture a moment without getting too much attention. It was the only camera I carried with me across 4 countries on my honeymoon in 2024, and bringing it around was truly effortless. However, this is not the camera that I personally reach for as often for portraits. Even though the lens is extremely sharp, the 24 millimeter focal length is a tad too wide for photographing people up close. So you may need to be more intentional about your distance and framing. You also might find photographing skin tones a little bit less flattering than the results from the Canon or the Fuji. At least that's how it is for me. I find that the reds inside the GR3 are very bright and saturated in the film simulation that I'm currently using. Fortunately, I still have yet to find the perfect ricoh recipe to get those beautiful portraits straight out of camera. So these photos usually require a little bit more editing afterward. But then again, it's been a while since I actively tried with this one, so maybe it's time for me to do a little bit more research. Or if you have a recipe you like, please share it with me. A trade-off if you are a beginner though is that unlike the G7X, this camera can feel a little bit more technical when it comes to exposure settings. On the flip side, while it is highly customizable, this also means that there are more settings to learn. You also don't get a built-in flash. So if you like flash photography, you'll have to attach an external flash. And remember to either charge or carry extra batteries along with the flash in your bag, so it does make it a little bit less grab and go. I personally haven't had too many issues with dust getting inside the camera, but apparently according to the online community, weather resistance is an issue. So you see here, I've covered up some of the microphone holes just to make sure dust doesn't get inside the camera. Video is not this camera's strength either. The GR3 does top out at full HD rather than 4K, so it definitely definitely makes more sense as a photography-based camera rather than an all-in-one content camera. Honestly, ever since the Fuji X100VI entered my collection, this one has been sitting on the shelf collecting dust, but I just haven't been able to find a way to part with it yet. I did try once, but it has made its way back to me. I just can't get rid of it. So the pros are that the ricoh is extremely sharp, the camera is discreet, and the small size makes it easy to capture fleeting moments that you might otherwise miss while trying to pull out a larger camera. Do you care more for glowy portraits or capturing moments on the go? So the verdict is that you don't care about having to edit your photos a little bit more, or just happy with the presets it comes with or the film sims they have online. If you also don't care about having a built-in flash or advanced video capabilities, but you do want the smallest, most pocketable camera to prioritize street and travel photography, then the GR3 is probably the best option for you. The final part of my 3-part series is the camera that gets the most use out of my inventory, the Fuji X100VI. This is the most expensive out of the 3 of my cameras, but when you start to consider cost per use, it becomes the cheapest. This camera has a 40mm cropped sensor, a fixed 23mm f2 lens, which gives you the view of a 35mm on a full frame camera, and weighs approximately 521 grams with the battery and memory card. This does, however, make it 2 times the weight and double the megapixels of the ricoh. Since it does have a 35mm equivalent field of view, this makes it extremely versatile. It is wide enough for travel, portraits, food, and everyday moments without feeling excessively wide. So even though this camera is a lot heavier than the other 2, this is the most reliable all-around option for me. The built-in flash can light up a dark room, though if you want a stronger one, you can also attach the external flash. It also does not take very long to recycle in between photos. Fujifilm also has a huge online community, so you can easily find film recipes that can recreate different film stocks and aesthetics. My 2 favorites are Summer Chrome and Kodak Portra 200. The camera includes 20 film sims from factory, so if you don't enjoy color grading hundreds of photos after a trip, you can create JPEGs that are also ready to download and post. It also has internal stabilization, which helps you get steadier photos in low light and more stable handheld video. For video, the X100VI is in a completely different category than the other 2. It can record up to 6.2 at 30 FPS, 4K at 60 FPS, and even high-speed HD footage. You can also apply Fujifilm's film simulations and custom recipes directly to these videos. It also includes a 4-stop ND filter. Obvious downside is the size. It does fit inside the everyday shoulder bag and crossbodies, but not the truly small ones. Specifically for me, it does not fit inside my medium Chanel classic flap or the mini Dior DJoy like my other 2 cameras. Then again, it is a mini bag. You want one camera that can handle travel, flash photography, everyday portraits, low light photos, and produces high quality video, then the Fuji X100VI is the best all-around option. So for the final comparison, here's the easiest way to decide. So for beginner-friendly flash selfies and casual events, the G7X is for you. For the smallest possible camera with HD specs and street photography, the ricoh GR3 is for you. For the best all-around combination of photography, travel, video, film simulation, and stabilization, the Fuji X100VI is for you. The best camera is not automatically the most expensive. It's the one whose features and limitations match the way you take photos and videos the most. Also, the one that you consistently grab to take along with you. Which one do you choose?